My wife said, "Give me just one night to cheat. Let me live my fantasy before we have kids." I didn't argue, didn't even blink. I just smiled, packed her bags, and dropped her off at. The moment she said it, the room went silent. Not the peaceful kind of silence, the heavy kind, the kind that sits on your chest and waits to see if your heart will keep beating. She was standing near the kitchen counter, holding a glass of wine like she had just asked something ordinary, something harmless. Her voice was calm, too calm. "Just one night," she said. My fingers stopped moving over the laptop keyboard. I slowly looked up. She didn't look ashamed, didn't look nervous. She looked curious, like she was testing a theory. "Before we have kids," she added, "I just want to live a fantasy once. Just once. No secrets, no lies." The words hung in the air like poison. Most men would shout. Most men would break something. Most men would demand an explanation. I didn't. I just stared at her. My mind went quiet. Dangerously quiet. Because when something inside you breaks, sometimes it doesn't make a sound. She stepped closer. "Think about it," she said softly. "People make mistakes later in life because they never experienced things. I'm just being honest with you. Honest." That word almost made me laugh. Almost. Instead, I smiled. A slow smile. The kind that hides everything. "Okay," I said. She blinked. Clearly that wasn't the reaction she expected. "You're okay with it?" I nodded. "Sure." Her shoulders relaxed instantly. Relief flooded her face. And in that moment, I saw something I hadn't seen before. Not guilt. Not hesitation. Excitement. That's when I knew something very important. This wasn't a fantasy. This was a plan. And plans leave traces. The next morning, she acted like nothing had happened. Coffee. Toast. Small talk. Like she hadn't just asked permission to destroy the foundation of our marriage. But I watched her differently now. Every movement, every glance, every moment she checked her phone. She tried to hide it. But excitement leaks through the cracks. Especially when someone believes they've already won. "So, Saturday night?" she said casually while scrolling through her phone. "Saturday works," I replied. Her eyes flicked up. She was measuring me, trying to understand me. But calm people are the hardest to read. She didn't know that. I did. Inside my chest, something cold had already started forming. Not anger, not jealousy, something more dangerous. Clarity, because suddenly, little memories started rearranging themselves. Late nights, secret smiles at her phone, long showers after girls' nights. Things that once looked harmless now looked deliberate. Saturday came faster than expected. She spent 2 hours getting ready. 2. Hair, makeup, perfume I hadn't smelled in months. When she stepped out of the bedroom, she looked stunning. And she knew it. "Too much?" she asked. I shook my head slowly. "No." She smiled. The kind of smile you give someone you think you fooled. "Thank you for understanding," she said softly. Understanding. Interesting word. I grabbed her suitcase. "You packed already?" she asked. "Figured you'd need it." Her eyebrows lifted slightly. "A whole night, right?" She hesitated. Just for a second. Then nodded. "Right." That tiny pause told me everything. She thought this was new. She thought this was spontaneous. But people who cheat don't improvise. They rehearse. Which meant one thing. This fantasy already had a destination. She just didn't know. I already knew where it was. I started noticing things weeks earlier, but I didn't react then, because reacting too early ruins the truth. And the truth needs space to breathe. 3 weeks before that conversation, I saw a name on her phone. Just once. Ryan. A message popped up while she was in the shower. Saturday will finally happen. She grabbed the phone quickly when she came out. Too quickly. She smiled at me afterward. Too warmly. I didn't mention it. Instead, I started watching, quietly, phone habits, work schedules, gym days, patterns. People reveal themselves through patterns, and hers were sloppy. Tuesday nights became yoga, but her yoga mat never moved. Thursday mornings became early meetings, but her office building opened at 9, so I dug deeper. Phone records, location history, small details. And slowly, Ryan turned into a person, a coworker. 32, divorced, lived downtown, a man who believed he was special, a man who thought my wife had chosen him. But the thing about affairs is that both people think they're the exception. They never realize they're just participants. By Friday night, I knew everything. The hotel, the room, the time. She thought she was controlling the story, but the truth had already moved ahead of her. Saturday evening came. She sat in the passenger seat of my car, her leg bouncing slightly. Excited, nervous, alive. I drove calmly through the city lights. Neither of us spoke. Streetlights slid across the windshield. Yellow, dark, yellow, dark. Finally, she asked quietly, "Where are we going?" I smiled. "You'll see." Her phone buzzed. She glanced down quickly. Ryan. Of course. She typed something. Probably telling him she was close. Probably telling him she was finally free. And for a moment, I almost felt sorry for both of them. Because neither one understood the truth. Tonight wasn't about her fantasy. Tonight was about mine. We stopped in front of a tall glass building. Bright lights. Steel doors. Cold architecture. She frowned. "This isn't a hotel." "No," I said calmly. "It isn't." She looked at the sign. And suddenly, her face drained of color. Law offices, family division. Her voice came out barely above a whisper. "What is this?" I stepped out of the car. Walked around. Opened her door. "Your stop." Her eyes searched my face. For anger, for pain, for anything. But calmness is terrifying when someone expects chaos. "You said you wanted one night," I said softly. "So I made sure everything was ready." She didn't move. "What do you mean?" I handed her a folder. Thick, heavy. Inside were printed messages. Call logs, hotel bookings, photos, every lie she ever told, every secret she thought was invisible. Her hands started shaking. "How did you—" I pay attention. Her breathing got faster as she flipped through the pages. Ryan's name everywhere. Dates. Times. Messages. The fantasy had been alive for 6 months. Not one night. 6 months. Tears filled her eyes. This isn't what it looks like." I almost smiled. That sentence. The most predictable line in human history. "It's exactly what it looks like," I said. "And now it's evidence." Her head snapped up. "Evidence?" I nodded toward the building. "My lawyer is inside." Silence. Heavy. Crushing silence. "You planned this?" She whispered. "No." I shook my head slowly. "You did." Inside the office, everything smelled like polished wood and quiet judgment. She walked beside me like someone heading to their own execution. Eyes red, hands trembling. The receptionist nodded. "Mr. Carter is waiting." My wife grabbed my arm suddenly. "Please." That word again. "Please." Interesting how it appears only after the truth arrives. "I made a mistake," she whispered. "No," I said calmly. "Mistakes happen once." I looked straight into her eyes. "This was planning." Her face collapsed. Inside the office, my lawyer slid another document across the table. Divorce papers, property division, financial statements, prepared days ago. My wife stared at them like they were written in a language she couldn't read. "You're divorcing me?" she said softly. I leaned back in the chair. "You asked for a night." My voice stayed steady. "I'm giving you the rest of your life." She broke then. Tears. Real ones this time. "I didn't think you'd leave," she said. That sentence was the most honest thing she had said all night. And that was the moment everything inside me finally settled, because betrayal isn't always about love. Sometimes it's about arrogance. She thought I'd tolerate it. She thought I'd forgive it. She thought I'd stay. I stood up slowly. "The car outside will take you to the hotel you booked with Ryan." Her eyes widened. "You told him?" "No." I shook my head. "I don't need to." I leaned slightly closer. "But when he realizes you're newly divorced, I wonder if the fantasy will still be exciting." Then I walked toward the door. Behind me, she whispered my name. Soft, broken. I didn't stop. The city felt different that night. Quieter, cleaner, like something toxic had finally left the air. I walked down the sidewalk alone. No phone calls, no shouting, no dramatic endings, just silence. For weeks I had imagined this moment. Anger, revenge, pain. But the truth was something else entirely. Relief. Because once you see someone clearly, you can never unsee them. The woman I married believed loyalty was negotiable, believed honesty was a strategy, believed I would always be there. Some lessons only arrive when everything collapses. My phone buzzed once. Her name. I didn't open it. Didn't read it. Didn't need to. Some chapters don't deserve responses. They deserve endings. I stopped at the corner and watched the traffic lights change. Red, yellow, green, life moving forward, unbothered, unaware. And for the first time in months, I felt nothing. No anger, no regret, just clarity. Because the moment she asked for one night, she didn't realize something important. She wasn't asking permission to cheat. She was asking permission to disappear from my life. And the truth is, I gave it to her,